Hey boys and girls, are you ready to make your sloth? So what you need to do is you just need a plain piece of paper, and to begin with you need a pencil. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay your hand out and you're going to trace around your hand, okay? So if I have this here, which is very hard to do, I'm going to then trace the outline of my hand, okay? So I'm going to do that real quick, and it doesn't have to be perfect, because, you know, sloths, they've got different shapes. You know, they're kind of fat, fluffy, lazy creatures, and so it doesn't have to be perfect at all. And so there's the picture of my hand in pencil, okay? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a circle here. I'll show you, because your thumb is gonna become the sloth's face. So I drew a big circle right there on my thumb. And a sloth is funny because it looks like they have a mask on. They've got those kind of, looks like they've got a mask with those eyes. Can you see that okay? And then we've got to draw the nose, and then it kind of comes down and like that. So I draw your little face. Once you draw the circle on your thumb, go back and add the eyes and kind of the mask that they have around their eyes, okay? And then you're gonna go to your 4 fingers. And at the very top, you kind of do like an upside down curve, okay? You do like an upside down curve just around the top, because that's where we're gonna create those claws. And you know what? You can make it as big as you want to. You can make it as small as you want to. But I'm just going close to the top, and I'm gonna draw like an upside down, almost like a rainbow shape. Okay, and once you have all of those, then you go back and we're gonna add their claws. Now their feet or their toes. And we know that in that video that it looked like they had 2, but they have 3. So we want to draw 3 toes on our fingers, and I'll show you in a minute just what that looks like. They called it a 2-toed sloth, but it really had 3 toes. And so they're not claws, so you don't want to make them pointy, but you want to make them within that finger shape, okay? So you can start to see it's starting to look a little bit like an animal. Now what we're going to do down here is we're going to connect these lines, right? Because that's where our arm was. So we're going to go down and we're just going to finish his body and make him nice and round. And even maybe, there we go. Okay, so I just connected my lines down below. It looks like he's got a big fat bottom back right there. Okay, so that's your basic shape. And then you're gonna go through and you're gonna color it. Now I've got brown, so I'm going to outline my sloth and trace over that brown or the pencil so it looks a little bit more like the color of a sloth. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because you know, sometimes you just go back and you want to change that shape a little bit as you're outlining it. And we can always erase the pencil, but you know, art doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it's better if it's a little imperfect. Okay, so you can see there, I just took my brown marker and I went all along the outside. See, so now you can't even really see that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fur. So all I do to do that is I just add just come in here and just do little scribbles along the edges. And even like in different directions, because the fur kind of goes different ways. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way around. Just some scribbles, just to show he's furry. Now, of course, you can color yours in any which way you want to. I know how good you guys are with doing that art and that creativity. So you can make it look how you want to do it. Now, of course, we wouldn't put fur on his claws or on his toes exactly. So I'm going to go back over his toes with a different color. I'll show you what it's looking like right now. I'm just kind of taking my time. So now it looks a little bit more furry. Now he's got a little bit more texture to him. Do you see that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a different color and I'm going to go over his toes and his face. And you can make it any color. I'm going to make this sloth because I don't have a black color with me. I'm just going to use purple. We're just going to make this kind of a unique looking sloth. You use what you have. Use what you have for sure, because we don't always have the right colors at home, do we? Sometimes our little brother or little sister takes off with a color, and so we just have to use what we have, okay? And I think that that's okay. So if you don't have the exact colors at home, use what you have. I know when I'm at home, my kids use a lot of my art supplies, and that's okay. Okay, so let me show you what I've got here. I've gone over with my purple color and I've done my toes. So I've got my 3 toes and I outline my face. So I'm just taking that color and I'm putting it over the pencil. And now I'm gonna go back to my brown and I'm just gonna add some dots. I'm just gonna dot it all over the place. And that will give it a look of like being more furry. Now, of course, you can draw your fur, you can color it all in. I don't need to tell you guys how to do it. But look at that. It's looking less like a hand and more like a sloth. And so now if you want to get really creative, you can draw you know, a log that he's hanging from, or a tree. Like that, like I can start doing that, and I can add some leaves and maybe give him something to eat. And now I can create a whole picture around my sloth. You create your whole picture around your sloth. So just kind of a fun way. We've been drawing sloths this week and just kind of figuring it out on our own. And I thought this would be a fun way to really make our sloth come alive and make it really big. Cut it out, put it on the fridge, you know, continue to do maybe the picture of a rainforest around him, give him something to eat. I would love to see yours. So I know we're going to talk about sharks next week, but bring your sloth pictures, the ones that you did today, for Tuesday, so that we can see those. That'd be fun. And of course, then we're going to start drawing sharks next week. So that'll be fun. So you guys have a super fabulous day. I hope you've got some great pictures. I know you will.